Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am Maham Lodi from DPS Junior Wing Model Town. Hope you're all doing fine. Today we're going to start our first lecture of mathematics for class 3. This is from your new countdown book 3, which is the 3rd edition. Before we start, bring your pencils and notebooks with you. We will start with chapter 1 titled Numbers. And our first topic will be even and odd numbers. Identifying even and odd numbers is a very important number sense skill. When we work with whole numbers, it's important to know the difference between even and odd numbers. This knowledge will help you grasp the difficult numbers concept and harder math skills like division and prime numbers. Let's take a closer look at even and odd numbers. And our even numbers. Any number with 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8 in ones or units column is an even number. This property helps us out when we have a 2-digit, 3-digit or any higher number. In order to identify whether the number is even or odd, we only have to look at the units column. For example, 68 is an even number. We can check it when we place 68 into its respective columns. 8 lies in the units column. Since 8 is an even number, so it makes 68 an even number. We have a few more examples, like 62. In this number, 2 lies in the units column, which makes it an even number. In 84, 4 lies in a units column, which makes it an even number. 90. In this number, 0 lies in the units column. And 76. Here 6 lies in the units column. These are all even numbers because the unit digits of these numbers are 2, 4, 0, and 6. Another important property for even numbers is that even numbers, when divided by 2, gives out remainder 0. In other words, we can say that even numbers are completely divisible by 2. 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8 are all even numbers. Since we've just stated that any even number is the one which when divided by 2 gives out no remainder. In other words, we can say that an even number completely divides 2. 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, these are all even numbers. Since they are even numbers, we get 8 divided by 2 equals 4. This statement represents that when 8 is divided by 2, it leaves 4 not as a remainder but as a quotient. It can be demonstrated geometrically. Let's say we have 8 squares. These 8 squares can easily be divided into 2 groups of 4. As you can see, one group has 4 squares and the other group has 4 squares. There is no extra square left behind. Here we have separated these groups in form of a circle. A circle clearly indicates that one group has 4 squares and the other group also has 4 squares. Both have equal amount, equal number of squares, and there is no extra square left behind. Let's move on to the next number, which is odd numbers. Odd numbers, on the contrary, when divided by 2, do not give remainder 0 but 1. It means that odd numbers are not completely divisible by 2. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are all odd numbers. Same as we have studied earlier in the case of even numbers, whenever we have 2-digit, 3-digit, or any higher number, we can easily identify them as even or odd numbers by looking at their units or ones column. Any number with 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9 in ones or units column is an odd number. For example, 97 is an odd number. When we place them in their respective columns, digit 7 lies in the units column. Since 7 is an odd number, so 97 becomes an odd number. Here are a few more examples of odd numbers. 31 has 1 in the units column, 45 has 5 in the units column, 73 has 3 in the units column, 89 has 9 in the units column. These are all odd numbers because the unit digits of these numbers are 1, 5, 3, and 9. Just like we discussed an example with even numbers, we can also study odd numbers in the same manner. As 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9 are all odd numbers, we can check if it divides by 2 or not. Let's take 9 for instance. In order to divide it by 2, we need to divide 9 squares into 2 groups. When we divide them, we have 4 squares in one group and 4 squares in the other group. After grouping them, we get 1 square extra. 1 square is left behind as a remainder. You can see that 2 separated groups of 4 squares leave out 1 square. And it shows that when 9 is divided by 2, it leaves out remainder 1, not 0, which makes it an odd number. Now you have few numbers on the screen. In order to identify them as even or odd, you only have to look at their units column. You have to underline or circle the correct answer. Every number has 2 words written beside it, even and odd. Let's start off. The first number is 10. 10 has 0 in its units column, which means 0 is even, and it makes 10 an even number. Similarly, 21. This number has 1 in its units place, which makes it odd number. So we underline odd. Next up is 18. You can do it. 18 has 8 in its units column, and since 8 is an even number, it makes 18 an even number. Next number is 11. 11 has 1 in its even. 11 has 1 in its units column, which makes it an odd number. Next number is 15. 15 has 5 in the units column, which makes it an odd number since 5 is an odd number. And the last one is 14. 14 has 4 in its units column, and since 4 is an even number, it makes 14 an even number. Now we have some practice problems for you to practice your math skills. First practice problem requires you to circle the odd numbers. You have a list of numbers from 41 to 49, and you have to circle only the odd numbers. In the next one, you have to write even numbers from 30 to 45. In this problem, you have to write all even numbers starting from 30 up till 45, not more than that and not less than that. You can do it pretty easily. If you have any queries or questions regarding this topic, you can comment your questions below. Thank you.